Let's talk about mean of group data. When we talk about group data, this is a set of data which are classified. When we say they are classified, scores are in a particular range or scores are belonging in a particular interval. Okay, so now let us try to talk about how do we get the mean of group data. We have here the formula. The formula is we have here your mean. This is the formula for your mean. So we have your x bar equals the summation of the product of frequency and midpoint. Then we have all over n, and n refers to your total number of scores or total number of cases or data which are present in a given frequency table or within a frequency distribution. I have here an example of a frequency table. We are going to find out its mean. So this is now a kind of a group data. As you can see here, we have different class intervals, and a particular score or scores are a part of a particular class interval. So we have from 20 to 24 down to 65 to 69. Under 20 to 24, we have 1 as its frequency. Then 25 to 29, there are 3 frequencies, and so on and so forth. So there are corresponding data or scores present in every class interval. Now, we are going to determine what is n. N is getting the total of this. We are going to find out the total of all your frequency. So if you're going to add, we have this one, we have 1, 4, 8, 14, 19, 27, 31, 33, 37, 40. So total number of cases, we have 40 all in all. That is the total of your n. Now, we are going to find out what is our midpoint. Remember that small letter x is known as our midpoint. When we talk about midpoint, this is now the mean between your class intervals. So when we say it's the midpoint, or we sometimes call it the mid-range, we are just going to add your lower limit and your upper limit of every class intervals. Okay, so for example, what is the midpoint of 20 to 24? In this example, the midpoint is simply 22. Okay, how did we get 22? It's pretty simple. You just need to add 20 plus 24. You add this, then you divide by 2. So we have midpoint 20 plus 24 divided by 2. So we have 44 all over 2, and this is equal to 22. So that is our midpoint. That's the midpoint of your class interval 20 to 24. The same process will also be followed when we get the midpoint of 25 to 29. So we have here, you add 25 plus 29 divided by 2. So we have 54 divided by 2. So we have now our midpoint. It is equal to 27. So that's the midpoint. We are going to get all the midpoints of every class interval in our frequency distribution table. So next we have 32, we have 37, we have 42, followed by 47, then we have 52, we have 57, we have 62, and we have 67. So now, we already got all the midpoints of our this column of this column. Okay, so we already got the midpoints of all the class intervals. Now, we are going to determine what is fx. Fx means getting the product of your frequency and its corresponding midpoint. So, we just need to multiply. So, in our class interval 20 to 24, we are going to multiply the frequency of that class interval and its midpoint. So 1 times 22, it's 22. Then 3 times 27, that is equal to 81. Then 4 times 32, that is equal to 144. Then 6 times 37, what is 6 times 37? 6 times 37 is equal to 222. Okay, then next we have 5 and 42, we have 210. Then 8 times 47, it is equal to 376. Then 5 times 52, 4 times 52 rather, so we have 208. We have 208 for this. Then 2 times 57, we have 114. Then 4 times 62, that is equal to 248. Then 3 times 67, that's equal to 201. Okay, so after getting your column for your fx, we need to find out now summation of fx. How do we get summation of fx? Based from our formula. This is summation of fx. That means to say that we are just going to add the column for your fx, and that will provide us your summation of fx. So we are going to add 22 plus 81 plus 144. We are going to add all of that. So we have 22 plus 81 plus 144 plus 222 plus 210 plus 376 plus 208 plus 114 plus 248 plus 201. So that is equal to 1826. That is now the value of summation of fx. Now we are going to use now the formula in order for us to find out the value of our mean. So we have the formula. We have mean is equal to summation of fx all over n. So we will only replace your summation of fx by 1826. Then we will divide this by n. And your n is equal to 40. So dividing 1826 divided by 40, this is equal to approximately 45.65. This is now the value of our mean. We have the value, it is 45.65. So this is now the steps in getting the mean of group data. Thank you.